we'll be talking about the most intelligent players from every Premier League club. Welcome to Mindmaster with me, your host, James Allcott. Today's specialist subject is football IQ, in the format that I like to do pretty often, probably a little bit too much. But who is your mastermind? Who is the brains behind the operation? And is your club more brawn than brains? Let's find out. If you're smart enough to enjoy this video, then please do feel free to hit the like button and, of course, subscribe to the channel as we look to march to 250,000 subscribers. Let's go. Arsenal, Leandro Trossard, the jack of all trades and a master of all of them, it seems. Trossard has demonstrated since signing for Arsenal a tactical flexibility, malleability. Yep, that's right. It's a video about intelligence, so we're going to chuck in big words like malleability. And understanding of multiple different positions and roles for Arsenal. His intelligence to be able to understand that not all roles are the same and to be able to interpret this and transfer them into output is something not all footballers could do, and it shows how clever he is. Aston Villa, Emi Martinez, the definition of street smarts. You don't always need academia in life to succeed. I mean, look at me. But you can always rely on street smarts. Again, look at me. No, I can't even... I tried. Emi Martinez has almost made a career from being wise in the big moments and using his knowledge to get the better of opponents. Love it or loathe it. Sometimes you have to hold your hands up and admit that it's clever from the Argentine. Bournemouth, Philip Billing. Underrated positional intelligence when it comes to Philip Billing. Really been impressed with him this season. Not many people give Billing the credit he deserves. Not many people remember that he arrived at Bournemouth as a 6 or a central midfielder in a double pivot. But since signing for Bournemouth and when Jonathan Woodgate was at the club, Billing started playing in a more advanced role. And now he's thriving in the Premier League doing exactly this. The intelligent part about Billing is his timing of his runs and his knowledge of when to make them. It's a really important part of his game and it aids Bournemouth in a massive way. Brentford, I'm going to go for Ben Mee because he just knows the game, doesn't he? Over 33 years on the planet, and he has been a football sponge. Not in a bad way. It's not like he's sort of gotten paid for doing nothing. He really puts in work and actually gets every last bit of juice out of that sponge, if you know what I mean. You know what they say, with age comes wisdom. I think Flav said that to me. And we need to respect him as one of the Premier League's elders. Ben Mee could write a book about defending because he's defended so much, because he was at Burnley for so long. And I think with how much experience and knowledge he'd have on the subject, he is right up there in terms of the most intelligent players for Brentford. He goes in for Brentford. But to be fair, the whole structure of the club could also be the pick, such as the intelligence of the organisation. Brighton, Karu Mitoma literally wrote a thesis on dribbling. That sounds like intelligent stuff to me, okay? Well, this is the easiest tap-in that we are going to have this year when it comes to picks for things. Mitoma is probably the smartest footballer in this entire video. Both academically and in a football sense, he has proven that he's super switched on. Mitoma, as I said, wrote his thesis on dribbling in football by attaching a GoPro to his head, which sounds less intelligent, but stick with me, and analysing better what was the most successful way to dribble past a player. Not only is this interesting, but it also looks to be helping him in the Premier League, as he's absolutely tearing defenders apart. Chelsea, Cesar Azpilicueta. You can't be 5'10" and succeed as a centre-back unless you're clever. Everyone knows that. It's a football unwritten rule, and now it doth beeth written. Also, crucially, as we all know, you can't have a tucked-in shirt and not be clever when it comes to football. Lee Cattermole. Sure about that one as well. Azpilicueta oozes intelligence in his appearance, but also how he plays football. His quality in defence over the years has never been impacted by his height, and that's testament to his intelligence as a player and the career he's had. It speaks volumes. Crystal Palace, I'm going to go for Jeffrey Schlupp, and actually if you say his name in the right accent, it does make him sound like just a really smart guy. Maybe add the re on there. Yeah, we're going to bring in Jeffrey Schlupp. Great guy, really smart guy. See? Schlupp is one of those players in the Premier League who simply doesn't get the credit he deserves for being a jack of all trades. He's played left back, left wing, centre mid in a 3-man midfield, and also in a double pivot for Crystal Palace. He actually played up front as well back in the day for Brentford, and being able to move from left back to centre midfield isn't something a lot of players can do. So for Schlupp to do it just shows that he's got something about him, and he deserves to be on this list. Let's give Schluppy some flowers, shall we? Everton, Alex Iwobi. There has been a reason managers keep picking him. Iwobi is that good that he gets into the team regardless of the manager. The fact that managers also play him in different positions just to get him in the team is also a demonstrator of how intelligent he is. He always adapts to the challenges that seem to face him. He's also got excellent awareness on the pitch and a great understanding of tactical approaches, which sees managers love him to bits. Fulham, João Palhinha intelligently reads the play. His defensive awareness is just superb. Palhinha leads the way for tackles this season with 102 tackles in the Premier League so far. The next is Tyler Adams with 89. So for Palhinha to come to the Premier League and to be dominating in his first season just shows how clever he is when it comes to being defensively minded and how it comes naturally to him as well. Natural intelligence, if you will. Another tap in when it comes to Leeds United, Patrick Bamford. He's privately educated. This guy knows how to enunciate. As a joke, he knows how to enunciate. Patrick Bamford is someone who has been very lucky in life and has gone to private school. Before you start, I didn't go to private school. I went to a state school, okay? Back to Bamford. The fact that he did go to private school, that means that he's been very well educated. Obviously, they paid a lot of money for it. And some of the byproducts of this is what he speaks. French, he plays the violin and was even offered a scholarship at Harvard. Yeah, tapping. Leicester City, of course, we have to go with Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. He's got a double-barreled name. What else are we going to do here? To be honest, no one really strikes me as too intelligent at Leicester City. Maybe Tielemans or Castagna are potential options. I can't really back it, if I'm honest. Yeah. Therefore, we've gone for the most intelligent-sounding name in Kieran Dewsbury-Hall. That is just the perfect name for an author. You can imagine that the mythical nature of time by K.D. Hall. I think it was K.D. Hall who said, "Tuck thy shirt in, it makes you look more intelligent." Just keep going. Thy. So, I'm dumb. Liverpool, James Milner. With age comes, of course, wisdom. You can't still be playing at 37 and in peak condition without being a genius. Either a genius or extremely boring. Either way, we're giving it to him. And I'm going to lean to the genius side. Why not? He also played cricket. Manchester City, Bernardo Silva, the Portuguese army knife of football. Bernardo Silva may be the most intelligent footballer in the league purely from a footballing sense. Not only can he play almost every position, even filling in left back at some points this season, to be able to do this is one thing, but to be able to do it in tactically complex systems such as Pep's is ultra impressive from Bernardo Silva and shows just how big his football brain is. Manchester United, Casemiro, defensively, he may be the most intelligent player in recent Premier League history. The fact that Casemiro has almost single-handedly turned around the Manchester United midfield this season with his defensive know-how speaks volumes. He's averaging 4.4 tackles and interceptions per 90, and that not only shows his quality, but also shows that he's smart in the way that he defends, because most of the time, he's the single pivot for Man United. He's also clever in how he knows how to win and win trophies for that matter as well. Newcastle, Joe Linton. Yeah, there's no limit to Joe Linton. For a player to transfer positions from striker to centre midfielder takes not only big cojones, but an even bigger brain. From playing in a role with almost zero defensive responsibilities to one where your defensive contribution is a vital part of the team is extremely impressive and shows high football IQ. Well done, Joe Linton. Nottingham Forest, I'm going to go for Joe Worrell. He leads with intelligence. Leading a team into the Premier League only for them to almost make unlimited transfers was always going to be tough, but I think Joe Worrell is leading the team as well as he can and demonstrating amazing leadership skills to bring these unfamiliar players together, and he deserves praise. Great stuff, JW. Speaking of JWs, James Ward-Prowse for Southampton. He's a genius of free kicks. Genius is the only way to describe what James Ward-Prowse does and the ability he has when it comes to free kicks. His accuracy and technique is almost faultless, and there's a reason that he's the most feared free kick taker in Premier League history. Because he's smart enough to practice this much and to become world class at it. Tottenham, I'm going to go for Hugo Lloris. He just sort of looks like he, loves a classic novel and fine wine. I've heard that he actually enjoys maybe a couple too many fine wines, but that was years ago. It's a tough choice for Spurs because no one jumps out really, but in my opinion, Hugo Lloris looks like a guy who wears a black turtleneck, enjoys poetry as well, and just understands a great fine red wine. Again, let's not go into too much detail. Please don't Google it. The other option I was tempted with was Eric Dyer because he speaks Portuguese. He does seem quite clever, but I saw him on Countdown on the little YouTube thing for England, and he was diabolical. So he makes way. West Ham, I'm going to go for Lucas Fabianski. He is a Premier League stalwart, maybe even an icon. That feels like a stretch. But what he has done brilliantly is he's navigated through experience. He now has the wisdom to get past what's crucial here is a very difficult nickname. Previously known as Flappy Hansky, he now is known as a very calm pair of hands. And he's kept out good goalkeepers over the last 10 or so years. So I want to just give him that moment. Fabianski no more. Let's retire that. It's Fabianski. Fabinski. Don't forget it. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, it has to be JaackMaate. He's him, isn't he? He's just like student of the game. Give it here. Like longevity. Just never really injured. Gets around the pitch even though he's super old. Just kind of has a greater understanding. Just a wonderful, wonderful player. He's got that sort of two-guy vibe, if you know what I mean. And he's clearly an incredibly intelligent player with wonderful vision. João, I love you. So which scholar of the game have I missed? Let me know in the comments down below. If you'd like to support the channel and have enjoyed yourself, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell as well and enjoy this.
I think there's stuff that will come out about this season in the wash where people will go, oh yeah, of course. I don't know whether Liverpool have fully hung everything on getting Jude Bellingham, which is partly why I think they go down the Mason Mount route.